Alright, so we're going to go over some euro pairs and some pound pairs tonight. Check out the monthly outlook. It is a new month. I like to do this at the start of every month is my monthly moves, because you can do that, then you're out. What's more likely to happen, take advantage of full monthly moves to capitalize on a lot more without risking more intro. Starting off with this Euro 50 index here. We are going to move this here, so now you can, September's our goal here. Our month of August. Looking at this, it's still bullish. It broke this area, so I've been meaning to short this for a long time, but then it cracked here, so I really do think that shorting this is off the a while now. So, and I'm not going to counter trend trade. It's way above this moving average. It broke this major, whether I want it to be or not. It is, I think, at like new highs, all-time highs. So, yeah, and last month I guess closed above this. Yeah, this is bullish, but we don't really have any idea where it's headed. So with that being said, you would have to plan a trade based criteria. So basically you're just looking for a long to its monthly range, and your entry would be this area of support. So you'd be looking at a long position. I'll delete that. So it takes a few minutes to set up your charts here for the month, but as soon as you do it, you're good to go. These zones, I gotta figure out what the row. I like to figure out my highs and lows for the month and put them around whole numbers really well. This is right at 4,400. You can see it's right in this area, so that's most likely a good low. If price is going to continue upwards this month, then this would be a very most likely where the low will be. This area comes down here and rejects this area and is going to head further up. The price 4,400, and then our high will be 47. So there you go. That's your monthly. You're looking at a long position, something like this. Target that full area, and then like this. Price comes back down into this zone here, and then rejects and heads higher. So you can see yesterday's day candle didn't close super well. It was bullish and it pulled back more than half. So more than half this candle is wicked. So that tells you that losing some bullish momentum, and it might pull back even more. So this little leg here that price moved is bang on. Your retracement is right on this zone, right at the bottom of this zone, and right near this 4,400 level, and this little where all these wicks are, that would most likely be a very good entry. See, let it play out a bit more. Let's set up. Looking at it right now, early on, I would say that's most likely what will happen. That is the Euro 50 index. I know it's not super popular, but I do like the indexes pretty well. When they're going up, and then when they go down really fast. That's the Euro 50. Moving on, we got Euro Aussie. So it's a little ugly. We gotta figure out what we want to do. Move these around a bit. We'll set that back. So move this out of the way here. September is now our goal, and then we have to figure out what we want to do. So price currently is bullish. It's above this much. However, it's in zone. Recently it hit it again here, and a big bearish. It tells me that it does not want to break this in zones. I would look to short it. As of right now, it would be a counter trend trade. So you're risking that. But I mean, if you can catch the start of a new trend, if prices switch bearish, and if Euro Aussie is bearish, and you catch the top of that trend, you get some good money real quick. So could be worth it, and if it favors you. So if you could get in at like this zone here, keep your stop above this. Yeah, this is all theory. Let's say price comes back up and rejects again, then then it might be worth entering. And then how you could maybe figure out. Oh, hold on. So our monthly range is about 606 to 160. I forgot to go. So I like to set up my monthly ranges. So the monthly range for this pair is, I'm shooting for 600 pips. Obviously you never catch the full thing, but if you can get pretty close, I'm looking for a 600 pip move. So I want it off this zone. I want price to come back up, enter short if a few other things correlate. So right now you have bullish price action of higher lows and higher highs, and another higher low here. So price structure on the 4 hour right now is still bullish. Price is above this moving average, so I don't want this yet. However, once it gets to this zone, if it starts to hesitate, and if it can't break these moving averages, obviously it will break this 1 hour for now, but then if it breaks below the 1 hour and then eventually the 4 hour, then that's a good sign that not only did price hit its area of resistance, it's now losing, it's crossing. And then looking at a 30 minute. Obviously if price comes to here, it'll cross back over the 30 minute higher time frames. So once you can kind of see the other time frames correlate and price move over, cross over the moving average and head downwards, then that's usually a much better sign and in your favor. So I would wait for that. I don't see a trade elsewise on this. I mean, maybe if it broke this area, but I don't think it's going to do that yet. If it breaks this area, then we're definitely So if it broke this, then we'd shoot for that. But as of right now, based on this kind of ranging that it's doing, see it heading back up again, enter a position target. That is Euro Aussie. We're going to have to wait for that one. Euro CAD. Okay, so chart's a little ugly. We'll clean it up here. So based on this, just looking at it now, it is bullish. It's still above this moving average, but it's definitely weak. You can see, you scroll back here, tons and tons of like nothing but bull momentum, and then still had it, and then this nice little double top up here, double top, and then price comes down pretty drastically, and then finds this area of resistance. Everything tells a story here. Yeah, finds an area of resistance here, comes up, more resistance, higher lows. Okay, we'll go back up. Can't do it. Only makes it here, then comes back. So, and now it's getting awfully close to this moving average. There was a zone here, a little zone that before, and be holding below that. So you can see the bears taking over on this pair at the 4 hour. Lower lows, lower highs, and price did cross over this 4 hour moving average. Is now bearish on that time frame. You create a zone here, and then price breaks that area. I mean, we're probably going to go lower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out my monthly range here based on true range. So for this pair, it's about, it's brand new start of the month. We'll say about 500. So if the range is about 500 pips, to figure out where a high is. So we'll base our high off this first little area here. Should probably bid 146. And if price moves 500 pips for 141. So I picked 146. That is where these last. Price does look like it's ready to move up a bit. You can see there's a previous zone here. So that is, as of right now, I'd say a good bet. We can always adjust that if we need later. It's not super critical that's perfect, but I like to pick whole level. It's close, that it's got some wicks in the area. So, because price is going to gravitate towards whole levels. If it's going to move up, it's going to move up to 146. And if it gets stuck, well, at 146, it'll be your shorts. By then your moving average catches up. And then, odds are price will cross over this merge upwards and cross back down again. And if it makes a lower high, like right here, kind of a good sign. So there's no perfect setup for this yet, but there will be. We have our monthly high here. This zone is important. And we're looking for price to break this. Now, if it breaks this area before coming back up to here, then we'll place it in early on. I don't want to do that. I'd like for it to come up. We can target this full area, the full range of 500 pips though. So I'm going to draw a 4 hour zone here. It's the best I have to go off. And we will wait and see. Put it right to this 146. We'll watch price come up into this area. Look for a short just above here. Above this area. We can always adjust it once price actually gets up there. Make sure that we target the full monthly range right there to the monthly low at 141. And that is your trade. It's almost 1920R as it stands right now. Might shrink in a little bit once price gets up there and we have to make adjustments. If that's the top of the month and it moves its full 500 pips down like that is where it's going to go, and you're going to catch that whole month's price. Obviously price has to break this zone, but if you're in the entry, if you get a good entry and you just ride it down, you can watch it, you can analyze, you can close half your pin. If you take most, a few of them, leave a few open. If you enter here, it comes down to here, like 135 or so 143.5 or 143, decide it's a little sketch momentum, then you just close it. And then you end up with a whopping 11R, which is still phenomenal. That's how I like to trade. I like to let everything just set up and just wait it out. I'm not going to rush anything. If this takes a week to set up, no problem. If it takes a week to set up and I have to hold it for a week or two, that's also no problem. Sometimes, like this is a monthly range, but price very often in a month there's 4 weeks, right? And so 1 week, 1 or 2 of those weeks will be the impulsive move, so that would be like downwards, and 2 of those weeks are usually corrective or just kind of flat. So consolidate. And sometimes, a lot of the time, it's 1 week. There's 1 week where price moves, like 1 week, this price will move 500 pips. The other 3 weeks of the month, it'll be either pulling back a little bit or consolidating. The bulk of your movement will happen in a week. The bulk of the movement of the month will happen. It's definitely something to be on top of and prepared for. There's no sense in 40, 50 pips when you can make 500 for the same entry. You have to wait. There's no sense in forcing a trade here, like, well, we'll get in now and we'll just set our stop like this. Maybe get a 3. No, let's just let price come up to your area and let it resist and let the momentum shift. Price cross back over all you're moving, and then you're good to go. So that is Euro CAD, and then we're going to wait for that. Euro Swiss, done me really well lately. Let's get everything set up. Still very bearish. Look how nice this moves. Just perfect. Just perfect. You can't make this. It really doesn't get better than that. So hopefully that does it again this month. It came up to this zone and rejected it. But we're gonna find our monthly highs and lows here. So price moves about 250 a month. Yeah, Yep, 250. That's what I have it set for right now. Now we gotta adjust these down to here maybe. Get levels. So your 96 here. Yeah, so there's your 96 level. It's down a little bit. Perfect. So it's a little bit below that zone, but okay. So we're gonna wait for price to come back up again to this 96 level. Stop above these wicks and then literally just target this bottom again. That's all there is to it. We'll just target this extra segment as long as it keeps rejecting this area and all the other price action on the lower time frames correlates. And the reason that's important is because you can see that price came down to this zone and then it had a massive bullish candle. That tells me there are some bulls in the market. I don't think there's enough compared to this like almost doji candle here below this zone. But if you need more confirmation that you do, this is actually really nice to see on the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour it's still super bearish. It's below this move. See, price came into this zone. You got all these small candles did come into this right at the top of the zone. It tested and then boom, big bear candle, rejecting them. So actually, honestly guys, you could probably get in this to be a very safe bet here. Put your stop above these wicks, these ones and these ones, just to be safe. If you use a stop loss, I usually don't. I usually go with it. If I need to add more, I just manage, and I hate getting stopped out for dumb things. Just a liquidity fill. Get stopped out, you lose a trade. There's your trade right there. So that's a 5 hour right now. I would honestly, it's a safe bet, super safe bet. The euro on every other pair we looked at. If we go through here, those all showed the the bearish momentum coming into the market. They carry over to Euro Swiss. The Swiss is actually very bullish. It's obviously inversely affect the Euro Swiss on the Euro Swiss here. So yeah, I think this is a great short now. I would take it now. Or if price comes back up a little bit, if it comes more into the zone and you want to get 96 right at the hole and you want to add another entry, totally doable as well. So that's Euro Swiss. This is an excellent trade right now. Get a 5 hour if you want. Perfect setup right at the start of the month. Who knows, this might move the full monthly move in a week or just banked good money, right? That's Euro Swiss. Moving on, we got Euro Pound. Move this over here. Gotta figure out our monthly range. This is also about 2. We can leave it at 2 for now. Obviously it respected this zone here really nicely, and then it's still got to break this zone, and right now it's pretty choppy. So, but we can definitely draw this out. So let's just say, in theory, that price is really close high at a 6. So your monthly high per se. We don't know for sure yet, but there's a good chance. And the reason is hitting all these wicks here is struggling. We know there is bearish momentum below the moving average. Big wicks here, big bear candles here. These weak candles resisting the month of July here, resisting this zone. So we know it wants to break down. We know it's gonna have a tough time breaking this major zone here. It can do that. Head for this big zone here, which is exactly where this is. So low based on its range, pips. So that's our monthly low. Put this here. Stop our full monthly move here right to first. Don't have to hold the trade that long, but plan for it. Need to. And then this is your trade, guys. So as long as price keeps resisting this zone, doesn't really demonstrate that there's a ton of bullish momentum in the market. I think there is. You can tell it's big bear candles and weak in this area. So you got this 4 hour. This is perfect. A ton of rejection in this area. You got this 4 hour moving average. Price is holding below it. Will most likely come up and retest again. You can also, I want to check this. Yeah, it's pretty flat, but it's just totally rejecting this sides. Obviously, there's a bit of a zone here. Price, would need to break that, and I think it will, but I don't think you really wait for. There's such little bullish momentum in the market right now for this pair that it's probably just worth waiting, and you could just jump on this now. So if you wanted to let price come back up to zone at about 85.80 kind of thing, would be your entry. Right, 85.80, right at the bottom of this zone. Let it come up, fill, and reject, and then jump on it. And you're looking at about a 7R here. This is a nice clean trade. Your direct target is this major zone here, which is most likely where price would make it, and then start rejecting to pull back up. So it's right at the end of your range. Everything adds up perfectly. I love when line up because they make sense. So that's Euro Pound. Moving on. Euro Yen. Okay, so I think the yen pairs are gaining their momentum back upwards. See, there's huge rejection here, the 152 level. Now I think this wants to make its way up. So now we have to figure out where it's going to do. So price moves. We'll be a little bit conservative. I think it is like pretty much all time this area, but that was a long time ago. That was 2008. Price is that high. So I'd be a little bit more on the conservative side. So we'll say about 600 pips is where it moved on the month. So then all we got to do, guys, is up because they're already set for 600, which is its normal monthly range. This. So we'll just move this to the closest whole number, which would be like 156 and 162. So here's your monthly high target, and yeah, we'll just put this at the closest whole number. There's not really any resistance here yet, but who knows, probably pull back a little bit. And ideally, we're not going to enter this now by any means. Wait, it's itself a little bit better. Enter a long position. It's got to break this zone here. Nice support here. We can leave these zones, and then what I'm looking for is I got to drop it down to 4 hour, and I got to find. So sorry, this is a bullish pull up. There's no real retrace here, which is pretty low. Don't know if it'll get that low. Price is above this 4 hour. So right now we don't really know. There's some wicks here. My first area that I would consider would be here, but even that's not. Sometimes like when things aren't really clear. Like on Euro Swiss, the last pair with that, or 2 pairs ago, things were just really clear. This one's not as clear, so we just gotta wait a little bit longer than to set up. As of right now, I'd keep it like this. This is just a theory trade here, like this. This is our long. We definitely want to take a long position. We definitely want to target the full monthly, but we just don't know where to enter. It's definitely bullish, so we're with the trend. That's no problem. We just don't have a specific area of entry. We'll just leave this open here. Move it over a little bit. Yeah, so we'll revisit this in a few days and see what sets up. I mean, if price breaks zone, then by all means this up, and that'll be our end up here. If the bullish momentum is there and it pushes, we'll go after them straight away. Until then, we just have to be patient. Hopefully price comes back and just pulls back a little bit. A few wicks here, and then enter a long and it'll head up. That's Euro Yen. Euro Kiwi, bit of a disaster. So we'll move all these over here. These Kiwi pairs, these Kiwi crosses, Aussie Kiwi, Euro Kiwi, especially Aussie Kiwi, but it's pretty flat. This one's not as bad. This one moves pretty good, and its monthly range easily probably about 650, which is what I have marked right now. So we're good to go on that. But what we don't know is the direction. So right now price is bullish. It's above this moving average, and it did create support here, but looks to be breaking it. Great. So the price rejected this zone a few times, very similar to Euro Aussie. So looked at earlier. So we have to figure out a couple. We want to focus on trend switching sides possibly and bearish, or do we want to continue looking at the bullish perspective because above the daily and the weekly moving it technically is still bullish on that, but is the trend changing? Really no. Looking at this is really weird. So price massive bullish monthly candle back in, and then just cannot break higher. We got big wicks here, wick. You got a bunch of previous wicks here back in 2020. Like price does not really close above 178 on the monthly. So that tells me that it might want to switch direction. Yes, there's wicks on this side too, demonstrating that there's somewhat support, but at the same time, price had a ton of bullish momentum and now is unable to go higher. It's more than likely switch trends versus just support, because it already had the momentum. So now the momentum must be gone if it's not going high. Momentum was already here, so something took it away. It's clearly at a price that it just doesn't be above. So you can just see in the zone has been rejected. Might want to switch directions. So based on that, and again, we don't have to take any trades we don't want to. That's the best thing about trading. Just wait, and wait a little bit longer. We don't need to take a trade on this. We can definitely watch it and observe and see if there's anything worth taking later on. So I'm personally going to take a trend stance. I think this is break this area here and head lower. So in order for me to position myself for that, what I gotta do, move these, and I'm going to suggest that my monthly high 179, and then these out here. I'm theorizing it. We got 125 down here. That's our monthly low. And then what we're going to look for is adjust and bring the zone something like this. So I want to see price come back up to here and reach the zone. Reject it again. Enter a short put down low range, full 60 pips. And so all I'm going to do is just wait and see. Now if price starts breaking lower, this zone here, it's got to beat, and by then it's close to the monthly low, so it might not be worth getting at that point. But so this is based on a lot of ifs. So if price comes back up, if it gets rejected, then I'm gonna look at my stop just above this kind of probably any, if it creates a bunch of wicks in this zone, I'll put the stop just above those and above all the wicks. I don't want any price coming back up and hold high. I would set my stop just above this zone, and then I would drop it down time frame and make sure price is crossing back over on the downside. I want price to come up to this zone or very close to this zone, reject it just like these candles did. These are very nice rejecting candles. I want price to break below this 4 hour move just like it is now, but I want it to do like over here the 1 hour. I want it to cross back over downward on those moving averages, so I know the moment is dying down, the bullish movement is dying down, and the bears are entering the market, so I can enter a short position and hopefully be profitable. So that's my take on Euro Kiwi. We're going to have to wait a little bit. It's the very start of the month, so totally normal. And that's it. That's Euro Kiwi. Okay, Euro dollars. These dollar pairs are bullish, but I don't know if they'll stay bullish. This one's another. Right now the dollar, I looked at it earlier, it had pulled back up but down and continuing its trend downwards, so the US dollar is weakening, therefore it's going to push this pair up. As long as the euro itself stays strong, it's a balancing act. The euro doesn't stay strong, but based on this, so we're going to move these over. We're going to figure out a monthly outlook here. I think taking the safe stand to assume this is still bullish and it's still going to go up this month, no problem. You can see it's made higher highs and now it's finding some resistance, so that's good as well. So, and I remember if we looked at this retracement, yeah, so it's coming down to the 50% just perfect. That also looks really, really well. So as far as a bullish long buy entry right now, we got a lot of good. Next step, well no, we'll leave that zone. We got to figure out what our monthly range is. So about 400, 450. We can say 400. Be a little. Then we got to move these. These are our range markers I got here. And I want to find a evenish, so 109.5 be my low for the month, and then 113.5 is be my high. So that's your 400 pip. It's finding resistances right at the. So I do think this is a good buy. I do think the dollar index is going the right direction. It's going back down. We can push this pair up. They're inversely. So excellent trade comes pretty quick here. What's going to happen is you want to see price hit this area here and reject, obviously, to here. You want price to hit this zone, reject, and then you want to confirm it on a time frame. The only thing is you want to see structure as well. So this is something we might have to wait for. You look at this 4-hour structure right now, it's very bearish. Trends down, flat, trends down, pulls back a little bit, big bear candles, it's a big bearish engulfing 4-hour candle right into this zone. We definitely need more confirmation on this zone. See price also broke down across the moving average. We're gonna have to wait a little bit, but I do think it's a good area to. It's just I want to wait for the confirmation. I don't have to take a couple more days and then know for sure pretty much. Then I want price to dip into the zone, and then I want it to structure. What I mean by that is right now you have bearish structure or highs. You need the opposite. You need price to reject like this, that. So I need this structure to change. Ideally on the 4-hour, possibly on the 1-hour. See it, double top here on the 1-hour. So we have to wait. That's all I can say about that. We have to wait. We need something. We need the overall structure of the price. Even if price comes down right and rejects, that's not enough for. I can still see there's been recently a ton of bear momentum. See prices below this 4-hour move because it is right now. If that doesn't, then I don't even know if the bulls are retaking the market. Still early in the week to wait for like this to. We need that structure, and then once it does, I think we're good to go. And 400 pips pretty much, just right out of the gate here, kind of. Or close to 350 and 300. It's a great trade. Wait that out. Wait for euro dollar not properly that trade. Okay, pound Aussie. Similar to the Euro Aussie and the Euro Kiwi. It's got this zone here like this. I always love a new month and it's a fresh look. So I do believe looking at all these time frames. So last month did not close well. The bulls are can see it's been rejecting this and very, very so I think this do switch trends. I think it's gonna head down. So based on that, it's still way above this bullish move. The price is bullish. So as far as shorting it, we're definitely not doing it soon. We'll delete the price has to break this, or at least we could figuring out this monthly range here, about 700. If you can get in on the top of this trend, some good money. We'll move these over. Right now we're gonna here because we don't have much to go off of. 193.5. 55. That's your 700 pip range right there. And then as of right now, all we really have to go off of is price coming back up and rejecting again, counting on the fact that it's rejected to do so again, which is that. Now they're moving catch up 4-hour when it did. Ideally, what's going to happen here? This price is up to this zone, start rejecting. Right now there is bullish structure. You see higher highs, higher lows. See price come up to here, get rejected and come down. And you want to see structure change. You want to go like this. And then you're most likely by then it's crossed back over this move below the 4-hour move to go to enter that short position. The bears are in the market. We will find our September marker here. So this is our monthly range position. Looking at right to this bottom area, which is a super good place to target because price has already been here before and it's within the range. It's 700 per pair, usually moves in a month. Everything's very reasonable to trade with this area. It's an area that I'd be cautious, even if you would be more conservative and get out of the early or shorter target and get out quicker, no problem. This zone, close half your once price hit this zone, you could, but I would hold it for the full thing for that 85.5 level. Get the maximum amount you possibly could out of that trade. So there's no sense in taking small trade, just bigger, get more money with less entries. So wait for price to come back up, be patient, let it come up to this zone, let it create its new structure, head back down, take advantage of that. So this pound Aussie. Last one for tonight, we got pound, another similar pair, We'll delete this, we'll move this over to September. We'll figure out our monthly range here. Delete this, come my way. Another thing, moves about so that's what I already can see. It's in another wick, just like the last. A lot of wicks here. You can see this came up to all these zones. So this tells me that this is thinking about. I want to look very similar to the last. Looking at pound Aussie or whatever, it's very similar. So what we got to do is high again, but it's definitely not ready to short yet. So we got to figure out where we're gonna short it from. So I don't mind this, bearish momentum, came back up, make a new high or anything, but now it's coming down, but seems to be printing a little bit tiny higher as this one. The structure is definitely yet, price is below this 4 hour, that's not enough. So what I'm going to do is move these down. I'm going to find a whole level I like. I'll start with 5 monthly high. As of right now, I'm going to see what price does to that level, 4 hour candle. So as of right now, this is where once price gets back up to this level, then I'm going to look. Until then, I mean, I'll still scope out some stuff right now. Until then, I really don't really pair. I mean, unless it broke these bottoms, I don't think it's going to reject a little bit first. Delete this because I don't really need it. This is a pretty major zone, so I will leave it. We'll slowly catch up, especially eventually. Now, obviously, again, it's going to take some time for this to set up better and for us to have a better idea of our entry for sure. If we even want to enter, if price smokes through this zone, then there's a bunch of bullish and we're not going to touch it. But if price comes up to this area and starts being a bunch of wicks or short, for sure. So we got that marked out. The only kind of resistance we have on a 4 hour, and that's not, so I don't like that. But there's a little bit of wicks on this daily. But as of right now, that's where we're at. We're to this, look for a short stops above this area a little bit, and then we'll target this full monthly range. If it breaks, if price comes up to here, and structure changes, and it starts heading down, once it breaks past these bottoms, it's probably at least to here. And then if not, this is a pretty major zone here. There's a chance that price momentum, and it doesn't do its full monthly, does, it only makes it to here. That is possible, but I'd rather that be worst case scenario. I only make 500 pips, and if that's worst case, pretty good. So that is what I'm banking on for right now. Just wait it out, let price set up. It'll take a few days, it's no big deal. I like fresh month outlook, perspective on the markets. It really lets me, have a good visual and prepare for everything to happen in the markets this month and capitalize on the big moves. Let price come back up to this area, and we'll look for a short position. That is Pound CAD. That is everything I have tonight. Thank you guys for watching, viewing, like, and subscribing. And leave me any comments, any questions you have, and I'd be happy to. And good luck trading.